Construction supply chains at risk. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, I'm Florian Heise and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I've got my stein of coffee and I thought we'd have a look at this article from the Fin Review, shared on commercialrealestate.com, sent to me by a viewer. Something that is frankly very, very concerning to our economy and our construction industry, and particularly worrying to all the economic interventionists, the people who are arguing that the government needs to stimulate the economy, spend, 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 or that the bushfires will be a fantastic thing for our economy because rebuilding broken stuff, that's how you grow an economy. You know, the broken window fallacy doesn't exist. Let's have a look at this, guys. Construction supply chains at risk from the coronavirus. The impact of coronavirus is spreading to global supply chains, with building contractors warning clients of potential delays on projects because factories have closed in China, the source of many building materials used in Australian projects. So as a result of respiratory disease, there you go. The scheduled closure of China's factories for the Lunar New Year holiday extended in an effort to halt the spread of the virus that has so far killed 909 people and infected 40,000 was due to end on Monday, and Australia's builders who source products such as joinery, facade materials and structural steel from China are watching to see if manufacturing resumes. And just remember that structural steel from China, Australia is the biggest iron ore exporter in the world, guys. And we send over the raw materials, and this is from the Observatory of Economic Complexity. We send over the raw materials and bring back the structural steel. It's not produced here. See that economic complexity number right here, 0.09. 59th in the world. Look at what we're exporting. Look at what we're importing. It's concerning, the situation we've found ourselves in. One could argue perhaps Australia's, well, de-industrialized to the point that we don't even have the capacity of an advanced civilization anymore. We're dependent on bringing so much in. And our destinations, well, 35% to China, our biggest destination for our exports, and our imports, China again. There you go. So, I mean, just think structural steel. The inability to access that. What's that going to do for several projects? Or it'll throw out a whole lot of budgets if they have to get it from other sources. A lot of contractors are notifying clients of potential delays, said Brett Mason, the chief executive of Sydney-based contractor Built. We're obliged under contract to give notice of any potential delay. We've been complying with our contractual obligations. Well, yes, no. I know people who work at Built. That's completely legitimate what he's saying there. They have to do it. And this is beyond their control. The builder couldn't plan for this. The $1.5 billion revenue Built has a range of projects including various buildings in the Parramatta Square precinct in Sydney's west and the residential 130 Hyde Park. Mr. Mason declined to comment on the exposure of any specific project, saying it was a sensitive topic. I don't blame him. I do not blame him at all. Built, like most contractors, is required to alert clients of any impending risks, whether they eventuate or not. But with Chinese direct and indirect imports accounting for a large share of materials used on Australian building sites, as much as 20% of the total construction costs on a high-rise residential project, according to consultancy RLB, this is a problem for the whole industry. Now let's just dwell on that for a moment, guys. I'm going to turn off the audio and have a sip of my coffee and dwell on that 20%. 20%. everyone. As we all know, the construction industry relies heavily upon supply of materials from China, said RLB Director Neil Taylor. Delays and disruptions to manufacturing and logistics are an absolute certainty, with many workers limited in their ability to return to work, and factories in certain areas in China are expected to remain closed. It's an issue in Victoria as well. I'd say it's an issue in the entire country. Anyone who's dependent on this imports. Because the thing is, you don't, with these construction projects, guys, you want to get the material on site as soon as, and then install it as quick as you can. You don't want to, there's a lead time too with the shipping. You don't want to have it on site where it could potentially get stolen. You need to secure it. You want to essentially go just in time if you can. Some concerns have been raised by our members about the impact of the coronavirus on the building supply chain, said Master Builders Victorian Chief Executive Rebecca Kaysen. RLB said it was aware of projects in the Melbourne CBD high-rise residential and commercial towers on which contractors had issued notices of delay. The firm declined to identify the projects, which it said ranged between 100 and 400 million in value. So what happens to all the workers on these projects which are delayed? Will the builders still pay the subbies? Or will the subbies have to wait a bit longer? Wait a bit longer. Wait a bit longer. There have only been a couple that have landed to date. There is talk of 2 or 3 more which could land over the next week or so, said RLB Director Dominic Schiaffone. To date, the delay has been specifically on joinery from China due to the country's factory shutdown and shipping delays, but more trades could very well be affected if this continues. Just think about that, guys. It's so much cheaper to build, well, pretty much everything in China, even joinery, even your cabinets, let alone the structural steel. Notices of delays are sensitive topics. Multiplex, CIMIC subsidiary, CBB contractors and ProBuild declined to comment. A spokeswoman for Grocon said the Melbourne-based builder and developer would not say publicly whether it had issued any notices or not. Yeah, well, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. If Grocon was to issue a notice of delay, it will be a communication between Grocon and its investors only. We will not comment on whether any of Grocon's subcontractors has issued us with a notice of delay. This information is confidential to the individual's project. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Guaranteed they're copying them, but they wouldn't mention it. A Lendlease spokesman said the company's building sites hadn't been impacted by coronavirus-related supply chain issues, but it was monitoring the situation. A John Holland spokeswoman said the company was assessing the impact of the virus. It appears to be limited at this stage. But Mr. Mason said his company's acquisition of a joinery company on the Gold Coast reduced its dependency on imported product, but did not eliminate its imports. Built was not just watching factories, but also China's internal controls on transport of materials between provinces and the ability of domestic transport companies to resume work, Mr. Mason said. So here we have it, guys. Potentially 20% of the total construction costs of high-rise residential projects could be coming from China. What do you think this is going to do to the construction sector? We had a look. Building approvals, they jumped up a tiny fraction in December, but they're not looking that strong, guys. GDP growth, it's not doing well. Consumer sentiment is down. And I will need to keep an eye on job ads, guys, which are trailing down, and the unemployment rate for next month. Because this type of stuff, these type of delays can result in increased unemployment, people being let go, hours being reduced, an increase in underemployment. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here, guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Have you noticed this on any of your projects, guys? Are you bringing stuff over from China for your projects? Has there been a delay? Are you worried about bringing it in? Do you know people that are? Please let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're a fan of the channel and want to help that little bit extra, there are a few ways you can. We have a Patreon where you can join and make a monthly donation. You can also join the channel here on YouTube. We have affiliate links where if you make a crypto trade on Independent Reserve or purchase consumer goods on Amazon and eBay, we receive a small commission. We sell pocket squares on the HeiseSays website, and we have a PayPal to contribute that way. Thank you all very much for watching, subscribing, and supporting the channel. We appreciate it. And have a great day, guys. Bye for now.